You're listening to the Sales Hunter podcast. My name's Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. And hey, you have a lot more business in your pipeline than you realize. It's October, the fourth quarter of the year. What are you doing in terms of chasing year end? Will you make it? Will you not? I'm going to show you how you can build your plan. And regardless of where you are at with your numbers, you have far more potential than you ever could imagine. I'll show you how. Show begins right now.
You're listening to the Sales Hunter podcast with Mark Hunter, where the focus is to help you as a sales leader sell with confidence and integrity. And now here's your host.
It's October, the fourth quarter of the year, and many of you are struggling to make not only the fourth quarter number, but the annual number. And I'll tell you what, we all have business out there, and I'm going to share with you 11 things that you can be doing. And I went through this exercise yesterday myself, and it's amazing at the level of business that I found I'm able to create in my own business. And it's going to help make the fourth quarter in the year absolutely fantastic. Hey, this episode is sponsored by the How to Get a Meeting with Anyone Mastermind. It's where elite sellers learn audacious, proven strategies to land impossible meetings with their dream clients. It's created by Stu Heineck. He's the author of the book of that very same name. And he's also a Wall Street Journal cartoonist who AMA named the father of contact marketing. You can join now at getameetingmastermind.com. Spots are limited. Okay, I'm so excited about this. Let's get into this. Hey, first of all, I want you to look at it, your number, and say, what's the size of the gap? What is the size of the gap? Now, when you look at the size of the gap, I want you to subtract what you know you are going to get. In other words, what's all the business that you know is already in the pipeline, you know is going to happen. It's also the repeat business. And it's also business that you know is just going to close. Okay, put those numbers in there. Now, the difference, that's the gap. Yeah, see, it's already smaller than you realize. Now, look at your pipeline and what's in the bottom third of your pipeline. In other words, the stuff that's nearing a close, okay? So this is the stuff that's going to require a little bit of work, but you can get it, okay? What's that number? Okay, see, you're starting to see where you can begin to develop the number. Number three, what are the smaller opportunities that you have in your pipeline, regardless of where they're at? Because here's the thing, smaller opportunities do have the ability to close faster. So I'm going to really encourage you here in the fourth quarter, get deals that are smaller in nature that you can close faster. Okay, now what we did was we just went through kind of the first level. That's the stuff that's in your pipeline. Now, when you go through that, I think you're going to begin to find that you have a lot smaller a number that you need to attack than you ever had before. Hey, we got listeners already chiming in already. I never listen an opportunity to listen to the podcast. Thanks so much. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Hey, okay, let's jump into number 4 on the list. Who are current customers that you can go back to now and get more sales or a quick referral? Okay, who are some of those current? You've done good work with current customers. Go back and ask them. There's business that they have, and one of the easiest ways to do it is to pick up the phone and call them and say, "Hey, it's been great working with you this year. It's absolutely fantastic. What else have you got going on? And who else may benefit?" In other words, you use the compliment that they're undoubtedly going to give you as the door opener. Number 5, who are referral partners you can interact with? In other words, these are referral partners that you've used over the course of the year. I want you to connect with them because they're in the same boat as you. In other words, they're undoubtedly looking for business and you're looking for business. So connect with them. In fact, that's what I'm going to be doing today, Monday. I'm going to be spending much of the day on the phone with my referral partners because I know that there's still time this quarter to get business happening right now. Number 6, old customers who you can reach out to. They know you, you know them. Now, think about this. These are old customers who may have bought from you in the past. You know what's interesting is you can call them up and they're probably going to be interested in your phone call. They're going to be probably good to hear from you. Yeah. You see, you spent the time developing a relationship with them. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. Nurture it. Get it. And what you're going to find is many times there are opportunities because some of those old customers have got projects that are just kind of hanging out on the side, and you may be able to help bring them across. Number 7, customers who said no earlier this year. Don't rule them out. They're still in play, especially those who stayed with status quo. Now, remember, customers staying with status quo is the primary really competitor that we have in our business. It really is. It really is the primary competitor because so many times customers just don't see enough value or they don't have enough resources. It just doesn't line up. So they choose to not make a decision. I want you to go back to those and talk to them. And even the customers who said no and went to other vendors, they may be unhappy with them. Or there may be content, there may be products, there may be SKUs that other competitor can't service, can't supply. You can step in. Number 8, customers who have gone silent with you. Now, come on, let's not kid ourselves. We've got prospects. We've got all kinds of people who have gone silent. I have this in my business. Don't say you're immune to it. Reach back out to them. Give them a value proposition. Now, this is where it is so key that if you're dealing with your ICP, your ideal customer profile, many times the value propositions you reach out to one, you can use for many. So in other words, you can move your way through this list pretty quickly. See, here's the whole thing. Customers who have gone silent with you, they may have been engaged with you because there was buyer interest, but there was never buyer intent. And this is what's absolutely key. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for ways to generate buyer intent. How do I do that? I create a value proposition for them. I send them insights and information that help them see how they're going to get over their problem. Again, this is why you're dealing with that very specific ICP. Number 9, who can you use in your community, in your company, in your peer group as a subject matter expert with a specific customer or opportunity? You know, it's very interesting, but there are probably people in your company who are incredibly brilliant. And now might be the time to get them out in front of some customers, some prospects. You may have a peer who is a subject matter expert, and you can call them up and say, hey, you know what? I know this isn't your field, but let's collaborate together on this. For those of you who are solopreneurs, maybe you're a financial planner, getting a tax audit person who's a subject matter expert. See, perfect. You two could team up together and work with a specific customer, create an opportunity. Number 10, who are others in your ICP where you feel there's a high degree of buyer intent? Now, this is what's very interesting because, again, if you go through your ICP and you begin looking at customers, you can very quickly begin doing some Google search and find where maybe they've announced this, or they're stepping away from this, or they're doing this. See, there are changes in their business, there are updates in their business, and suddenly it could create a level of buyer intent. Number 11, don't stop engaging with your network. See, here in the fourth quarter, these are the people who can help you the most quickly. Go back and listen to an episode I released a few weeks ago on how to nurture your network. I want you to listen to that, because what happens many times in the fourth quarter is people begin digging deep. And what they do is they just say, I just gotta call. I gotta email. And what happens is all they're doing is throwing mud against the wall. By leveraging your network now, there is opportunity that you have in the fourth quarter to be able to pull that out and create opportunities. What I've done is I've been sharing with you 11 different things that you can do. Your gap is not nearly as big as you think it is. Don't look at the number that you need to get to and the number where you're at right now and become despondent. That's the worst thing you can do. Because again, when you start to go through these steps, and I can't stress it enough, start with what is going to close? What is the business that you know you're going to get? And just put that in your number. Now, remember, there's some steps you got to do with that. But that in and of itself is going to help give you a sense of relief and confidence that your number is smaller than it is. And the other two pieces that I can't stress enough is your existing customer base and your referral partners. And many times, those are the same. This is where I stress so strongly that we do not close a deal, but we open a relationship. You've got to be staying in touch with your old customers. You have to stay in touch with them. And you have to stay in touch with your current customers more frequently than you probably are, because there is business out there. The one piece that I didn't talk about that I want to talk about right now are those companies that have got money to spend. There are companies out there, there are industries out there that have got. So if you're dealing with a large company, and maybe it's a smaller division within a large company, they may have an annual budget that they have to spend. Because if they don't spend it, they lose it. That's money you got to go after. There are other industries that are doing absolutely fantastic. And because of the way their business is structured from a tax standpoint, whatever investment standpoint, they need to make expenditures now. See, I didn't even talk about that piece, but that is a huge opportunity. Understand your business, understand your customers well enough so you can see who are those players. This is what's absolutely fascinating. I found sometimes these opportunities lie in procurement departments. Now, I'm not saying to run after procurement departments, but I have seen situations where customers I'm dealing with, these are non-procurement people. Okay, these are the people who want to buy what I have to offer. They're hesitant. But when I walk them through the exercise, hold it, your procurement department's set up where they have annual budgets. They have money to spend. They've got money to spend. Don't be afraid of going to your procurement department. This is the one time a year when sometimes procurement department can work to your advantage. Hey, you've been listening to the Sales Hunter podcast. What is it? It's 2 episodes a week. One like this, where I do a deep dive with a topic that's going to give you results right now. I tell you what, sales is an unbelievable profession. I love it. It's not a profession, it's a lifestyle, because we get to help others see and achieve what they didn't think was possible. That's what I get to do here on this episode. Second episode is where we do a deep dive with a subject matter expert. 2 episodes a week. Do me a favor, leave me a review on your favorite podcast app. And make sure that you share the content with others. We've got some exciting things coming up in the fall and going into 2026. You're going to want to stay tuned. I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Great selling.